Hey guys, another video, another hotel. In today's video, we're going to be hauling grain and making a lot of money, more than we ever had in a while. So you're going to want to stay tuned, hit that like button, and stay tuned for the video, get a surprise. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome to Hartung Family Farms, and today it's Ron. He's back on the farm. Wow, it's been almost a month since I'm back on the farm. Well, I'm not on the farm right now, but I'm on my way up there. It's a nice, rainy, moderately cool day for Iowa. And, oh man, Smith Farm's for sale. Or acreage, I should say. That's the ground that we were just renting this year, I should say. Here's the corn. Here is Nathan's beans. Right, not right there, obviously, but right here. They need to get sprayed. Got some volunteer corn in there. And there's some Nathan's cornfield. So like I said, it's been a month since I've been here and things have definitely changed. Wow, look at those weeds. We are almost done spraying corn. Pat's got probably 200 acres left. Then he's gonna jump on spray beans. He's gonna jump on this field right. His first thing that he does when he starts spraying beans. Here's the hay that we chopped that then Pat planted into corn. He's still gotta spray it for corn. But it actually turned out pretty good. That's the latest planted corn that we'll have, or that we do have. It's only been in the ground for about a month now, but it's, well, 3.5 weeks. And it's already 4 inches tall, just rough guess from the road. But I'm gonna head up to the farm. I'm gonna go out there for a couple hours. I just got off work, it's 4 o'clock. And I'm gonna haul probably a load or two of corn, then head back home. I just wanted to go up to the farm, just to get an excuse to head up to the farm to see how things are doing. And I was originally going to go see the tax guy to pick up my taxes for the year, but he's not in town today, so scratch that idea. So let's get up to the farm and see what's going on. Nathan loaded these 2 trucks up for me this morning because I told him I'd be coming up. So we have 20,000+ bushels of load contracted to ADM of corn. So we're emptying out our bins. This is the good corn. This is the $6+ corn that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this unit up. Let this thing warm up for a smidge. I'll go beat tires and we'll head out. But Nathan, I don't need to check the oil in this because they ran it this morning to fill these things up. I think they've been taking a load of corn in every single morning and then filling it up. That's just kind of what they've been doing. So we've been hauling pretty much 2 loads a day. So I'm gonna make today 4. So I'm gonna go clock in. I gotta tighten the screw on my GoPro, I should say. And then we'll get moving. Working on the chopper truck because chopping season is gonna come up quick. Oh gosh, don't like this. Man, Zach, you're not kidding. That really works. Much better. All right, now we can get moving. So while I've been gone, Pat has been doing a lot of spraying. He has been spraying with, basically with our corn post mix, which consists of Helix GT and atrazine. Helix is a group 15, 9, and 27 herbicide. It's got a blend of metolachlor, Roundup, and Mesotrone, which are all 3 things that we sprayed for our pre-emerge. So we're putting those 3 things on, as well as our atrazine, which is basically a corn fighting chemical that is really works really well in our area, but it's also a controlled chemical in our county because they've been starting to have some atrazine in the surface or found in groundwater. So we've actually been, we have to regulate our rate of atrazine that we put on, but it's a super strong and potent chemical that can cause issues in our sprayer because it gums up, but it does really well on our crop, on our weeds. So that's why we choose to spray it. We are smart about it. We stay within all the label. My dad's truck is here. Didn't think that would be here. Weird. So Pat's been doing a lot of spraying. We've been doing a lot of corn hauling. We had a large contract for June and a large contract for July of $6+ corn, which was fantastic. I think there's 45 loads between the 2 months that we've done. So after these 20 loads that we'll do out of July, that'll get us pretty close to finishing out all of our corn from last year, because we're trying to sell all of our corn from this year or from last year because we've had some really good prices, really strong prices these last couple months. Let's go ahead and get moving. Set my stuff in the truck, kick tires, make sure we're all good, and let's roll out. So on this trip, I'm actually going to show you guys how we drive our semis, how we drive our corn hauling machines, how we basically sell our grain. So what we do is we have 2 main semis that we use. With our kind of main truck is our 2013 Columbia Freightliner Columbia. It is a 2013. It does not have any emissions on it because it was bought as a glider kit. Basically, they bought it without an engine and powertrain, put their own on there. They were able to get around all the emission standards that came in on trucks in 2007. So normally this truck would have DEF on it, but this one actually does not, because thankfully, because it just adds a lot of complexity for DEF. And we don't need it on our truck because we don't put a lot of miles on our trucks a year, so we want to avoid DEF as long as possible. DEF basically is diesel exhaust fluid. It makes it cleaner emissions coming out the truck, but this one truck isn't going to matter in the grand scheme of things. So we're kind of glad that this thing doesn't have DEF on it. So it is like I said, it is powered by a Detroit diesel engine, puts out about 400 horsepower, I think, somewhere around there. I'm not 100% on that. Has an Eaton Fuller 13-speed transmission. You shift it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's got this red splitter on there. So you have it in the back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the lower range. Split it up for the upper range, and in there you have a mid splitter in the upper range. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You split it up like I just did. 6, 7 would be in this top middle position. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's kind of how it works. You'll be able to see it in action when I, hopefully from that camera up there. So yeah, let's get moving. Seatbelts first. How I drive it, it's got 3 pedals: clutch, brake, gas. Clutch basically takes the transmission and throws it in neutral. So I clutch, throw into first, and I'll slow it off the clutch, nothing on the brake or gas. Now freewheel makes sure I'll like basically get me going, and then I'll put it in neutral. Just a freewheel make sure all my wheels are spinning and free. I've taken off before where a brake has been locked up and you drag it for a long time. Never good. Obviously, and then the other 2 pedals are just like a car, so a brake and a gas. And you just drive it like a manual. So I'm in first gear, just went into second right there. It's a little muddy. We got probably 2 to 3 tenths of rain this morning through this afternoon. Here's our sweet corn patch to the right, which you guys can't see. I just realized from that angle. There's 6. So I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, split it up. 6. Now I hit the mid splitter. There was 7. I just have to let out the gas to get in the mid splitter. Now I'll go, there's 8. 8, and then splitter down. Just split it up, so as soon as I let go of the gas, it's going to shift. There it shifted. So now I'll basically put it back down, because next time I let out the gas, it'll shift down. So when I let out the gas, there's 10. Split up. 11. Split it down. There's 12. And then next time I'll let out the gas, we'll hit 13. Hope you guys are able to see that. I realized I pointed the camera like right here instead of towards me. Whoops. Hope you guys can see me. And same thing in reverse, except what I do is I go from 13 to 12, 12 to 10, 10 to 8, 8 to 6, and then that usually gets me to my stop sign, or wherever I'm slowing down for. And I shift right around 12 to 1300 RPM, because that's what I've kind of found to be the sweet spot of this truck. Is you upshift when you hit 1700, and you downshift when you hit 12 to 1300. There we are. I think you're taught not to pop it out of gear and always keep it in gear as long as possible, but I don't like doing that. I find it works better for me to basically just let it prep for my next gear shift and just pop it out of gear. Now, if you guys out there that are professional drivers, if you have a different reason on why you shouldn't pop it out of gear, let me know, because I'm curious. But that's just how I've always done it. And I float. I don't double clutch when I shift. I float between gears. What that does is basically, once I get it out of gear, or basically once I start moving, I don't use the clutch whatsoever. I just float in between. But you can also use the clutch. You basically double clutch, which basically you clutch to get out of gear, clutch to get back into gear when you're actually driving, but I float. I guess this guy's letting me go. you guys can just watch me shift. Shifting as fast because when you got 80,000 pounds on you, it takes a lot to get up to speed. And what you hear right now, that's what's called the engine brake. It basically just opens up a valve on top of the engine and lets some of the exhaust go out, and it helps brake the system, or it helps the truck brake itself through the engine instead of using brakes on your wheels. That's usually illegal to use in the edges of inside of most towns because it can be loud, but it's a very effective way to brake your truck and to save your brake pads. Because I'm going downhill, I'm actually going to skip gears. I just went from 6 to 8, 8 to 10. Here's Nathan's crops. Beans on the right, corn on the left. I'm just, like I said, it's my first time being back in 3 weeks. The corn's grown 3 feet since the last time I've been here. Beans have gone from not being up to almost canopied spots. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome too. It's crazy what happens and how quick corn grows in the month of July. The month of June and July, I should say. We're gonna go from June 1st, maybe a foot and a half tall, to July 30th. Corn's gonna be tasseling and 10 feet tall in spots. So all semis, especially most truck semis, or most farm semis, actually just about all of them, should have CB radios in them. Basically just so trucks can talk to each other, as well as that's how they use the CB to communicate with the probe shack without getting out and exchanging messages. So in each CB radio, there's different channels you can tune to, where channel 19 is the general one where you're just driving on the highways. That's how different trucks communicate to trucks. And then each grain terminal has their own CB channel. So I'm going to switch from 19 to 23, which is what ADM's is in Clinton. Now we'll wait till we get down there. I lied earlier, 22 is the channel. So now I cross these hoarded railroad tracks that see probably 200 to 300 trucks a day at minimum, absolute minimum. So you just crawl across them so that way you don't break anything. Tarp wasn't opening from the cab, so I manually opened it. Twisted the camera so you can see a little bit better. Now we'll go get a sample of our corn, and they'll go get a sample of our corn, I should say. We're gonna use the 2 probes to reach down there and get a cross-sectional sample of the grain. I'll tell them who's the grain for so they know who to pay. There's a turkey. I swear this turkey runs in front. There is no line, which that's awesome, because when I left work it said there was a 40-minute line, at least behind the probe. There could still be one by the dumps, but I don't think there's gonna be. So we'll go tell them who's they're gonna pay. They'll go get a sample, and we'll go dump and get out of here and go do it again. 7452 ADM grain. Pat works on the grower, works on the farm soil. They're getting the cross section. They just suck down into the truck, suck up some sample with the vacuum, and they'll grade it while I pull ahead and go to the inbound scale. So I'll weigh the full truck, dump my grain, weigh the empty truck. That way they can subtract and get the weight of the grain that I dropped off. Let's go. This road is always extremely rough. It is gravel, but I mean trucks go through here so much, all the gravel just goes away and gets packed in. So it just turns into a rough, bumpy mess. That's why you don't want to go more than 15 mile an hour on this stuff. Just creep 10 mile an hour in some places. Those are random steps in the middle of the staging area. I don't know. Smell that? Smells like processed corn and money. That's basically what Clinton smells like. There's a couple manufacturing plants, one that makes Purina dog chow, which smells horrible, and ADM doesn't smell much better. Sweet. No line. Straight drive-through. Here's the inbound scale. I'll pull on, it'll tell me what I weigh. I'll use the card they give me to scan, which is unique to my truck, and then they can attach that weight. There we go, all dumped, now we'll head out. Now we'll scale out as my tarp is closing, and we'll head home and grab the other truck and go dump that. And there we are. I'm not going to show you the ticket, but just trust me that I'm legal. It was basically 1,000 bushels that we just sold. Moisture was 14.4, which is perfect. We need it to be under 15, so that way they don't dock us. Test weight was awesome, 60.5. Last year's average test weight was 52. So your test weight is basically the density of your kernel of corn. It's a good measure for that. Because how they basically get the bushels is they take your weight divided by your test weight, and that gets your bushels. And then FM was 0.7. Other than that, we didn't have any dockage. So with 1,000 bushels of corn, we sold this for $650. This load was just worth $6,500. How about that? Good payday right there. So I'm gonna go get another load of $6,500. We'll make 13 grand today. How about that? Thanks for sticking into the end, guys. It is getting very exciting back home. Like I said, I'm down in Louisiana right now. I'm down here for the next 1.5 weeks. I'm down in Southwest Louisiana. I got a really cool video coming from actually when I've been down here, but that's a couple videos down the road from now. But anyway, a little bit of update back on the farm. This video is about 2.5 weeks old now. I do apologize. I'm getting caught up, but it will take me a little bit of time. But back home, we're just finishing up second crop hay, just about ready to start on fungicide, and just about finished up soybean spraying for beans. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, take it easy. Ta-ta for now. Stay safe. Bye-bye.